How and why did I accept Christ? The how was not a very big part of a story or something. I do not have a very big story to tell, but why? My family is a very good Christian family, and I've grown in a very good Christian background. We never missed church, and I've always attended Sunday classes and everything. My parents always taught me to fear God and to follow Jesus and to act the way that Bible says and everything. But then I have never felt or experienced the love of God in my life until we moved to Trichy, and one day my cousin called me and said, I'm singing in this new church and I would like you to come. But then I wasn't really planning on coming. I went to my math tuition, and I was sitting simply thinking of going to sleep. But then she called my Periyappa and said, I know that she's only free, so bring her here to this church. And then my Periyappa said, come, let's go. And I came here and I attended the church, and after the church, pastors came and spoke to me, and they figured out that I sing. So they called me for the next worship practice, and I came and I started singing in church in worship. And 3 months later, pastor did an explore course, and in that he taught us what God meant and what God's love meant and what Jesus Christ did for us. Even though I knew all that from the beginning, from my childhood, that's what always they taught me, but that was really an eye-opener for me, because I saw it in a different perspective. I saw how God loved me. And then 1 week later, we did this big read, where we read the Bible 3 days together, and we finished it. And by the end of that, there was this night called Prophetic Night, and that is the time where I felt God's love and God's presence in my life, and I've experienced it for my own, and it was so overwhelming. And that is when I knew that I am God's child, and that He loves me, and that kind of love that I've never experienced. And that is my salvation story, and that is how I started in my life at King City Church. From my childhood, as I said before, my family was a very good Christian family, and there was a lot of people coming and going, missionaries, pastors coming and praying over our lives from my childhood. That's all I had. And a lot of pastors and missionary would say that one day you're gonna work for God, do ministry in God's church and everything. But then I never believed it. And when they say, I'll be like, no way that's happening and all. Then after coming to church, and I got baptized here, as I said before, and I got involved in many ministries, and as far as I can remember, I worked and served in every ministry that's here in church. And I started by singing in the worship team, worshiping God. And then I joined the host team, serving people. And then I started doing kids ministry, and I started teaching kids. And it really did impact my life in many ways that I can't imagine that I would do these things. And I've always been so scared and insecure, and I will not always be the first person to talk to a person. But being in host team and worship team, I changed myself to go talk to people, even though I felt insecure in a lot of ways. And KCC have pushed me to do things that I felt insecure about. They made me overcome it, a lot of things. And the one thing that I've realized through KCC is that God has a very unique plan in everybody's life. And even though we might have a lot of plan, the God's purpose will always work. And KCC paved a way for that path to work in my life. And I know for sure that I'm in God's purpose and I'm in God's way right now, right here, because I'm serving God, and I received many prophecies, and it's coming true, and everybody in my family knows it, and that's how it impacted my life. And I'm so grateful that I'm here serving God and serving my purpose for God.